I know what Jesus looks like, and today I'm going to tell you about him.
Aloha friend, I was tagged in your video knowing what Jesus looks like. One of the things that's really critical for all of us to understand when we are learning how to tune into our abilities, and you call yourself a psychic medium, and I don't doubt that you believe that you feel that way. When we are learning how to tune in, we must learn how to tune in with no ego and with no judgment. No judgment. I have no weight in this. So when we're going through that process, one of the things that differentiates us from a person who is actually able to bring in true evidence versus someone who has an extreme feeling, because those two things are not the same exact thing, when you're leaning into tuning into spirit and spirit energy, moving outside of ego, more discernment, we have to be able to say, how is my brain already templated to think? How is my brain already templated to believe? And in part of your video has said, well, I saw Jesus in church. I saw Christ in church. Where else would I see it? Right there. That tells me a lot of information about you. That was a judgment-based response, meaning you believe that you will see Christ and Jesus in church. Where else would you see it? Everywhere. Through the blades of grass, through these beautiful trees behind me, through the sunlight cascading over my face, you will see it everywhere. And because our belief systems are in connections to how we are projected to think, what does that mean? That means that if I fill my mind filled with certain kinds of content, my brain is already wired to think within the level of content that I have put in. So to say that Christ has blue eyes and fair skin, this is how you communicate with the way that you understand and see energy and the way that you are already projected to believe. And the wonderful thing about choice, you do not have to take any of my information. You don't have to take it. There are millions of people who believe just like you. Even though we have evidence that Christ did not have blue eyes because of the origin of where he was born, even though we have evidence of that, you are still welcome to believe anything that you want because that belief system doesn't harm anyone else until it does. What does that mean? Because guide energy, Christ energy, God energy will be in communication to us in the way that we understand energy. If we are only templated to think of things in one specific way and everything else is incorrect, then what that tells us to everyone else around us is that if you don't see Christ as a white man, then you are all incorrect. Because this is how I communicate to Christ, because I go to church. I want you to challenge yourself to step outside of that dogma. Hold on to those beliefs, but step outside of the gatekeeping of that dogma to find out what you can develop beyond that. And I guarantee you, considering yourself to be a medium or a psychic, your abilities will actually get much more proficient and pronounced because you remove all of that dogma based on religion, or if you remove all of the judgment based on the way that you fill your mind filled with content. I hope that helps. Good luck. Have fun.